The teacher benefits where the student benefits. If the student is learning, of course, that's beneficial to the teacher. Now, you can talk about other ancillary benefits that are provided by the ED system, like for instance, there's the planning comes already prepared, and there are classroom activities and workbook exercises that you can use in class, so the teacher doesn't spend as much time on basic things like planning and preparing exercises. The real benefit to the student is that the assessment is not assessment of learning, which is the traditional system that we've used in education for 100 years. But now, with this new modality, we can use assessment for learning. What's the difference between assessment for learning and assessment of learning? Well, assessment for learning means that there's a much shorter assessment cycle. So traditionally, when we think about assessment, we think about a quiz or exam that takes place once every couple of weeks, or once a month, or once every 6 weeks. But with the ED system, there's a continuous cycle of assessment that takes place, let's say during one study session, the student might be assessed 2 or 3 times. So this shorter assessment cycle results in an assessment really of the learning processes and not just the results. And of course, we all know that that's beneficial to our students. Well, as teachers, we want our students to feel comfortable in the classroom. And I've seen the ED platform homogenize groups. So what do I mean by homogenize? Sometimes when we begin with a group, we have some students that have a very low level and other students that have a higher level. And the result of that is that it's difficult for teachers to get participation in classroom activities. But I've noticed that over time, the ED platform homogenizes the group. That is to say that eventually everyone will be working at the same level. And I guess you could say that the standard deviation of learning is reduced over time by the use of the ED platform. And as an indirect result of that, my students feel more comfortable in the classroom, and they participate more in the activities that I do in the classroom. Well, of course, we need our students to learn outside of the classroom as well as in the classroom. And the ED platform does that for us, because the ED platform, it provides a base where a student who needs extra help can receive that help at home without parental intervention. The students like to use the platform because it has lots of entertaining videos and lots of audio, and it provides a challenge to them. And when you have a student that needs extra help, that student can review the same lesson at home at his or her own speed, and at the same time, ED provides extra lessons for you to assign to those students who need extra help. So if you have a particular student who needs help with writing or help with listening, those resources are there for you. There are so many reasons why I recommend the use of this platform, but I guess if I had to reduce all of those reasons down to 3, first of all, I'd say that the platform the lessons on the platform are based on themes. So it's very easy for the teacher to find additional material on the internet or to invent activities based on those themes, first of all. So your classroom experience becomes more entertaining for the student. So a second benefit would be that if any moment the student's lesson plan is interrupted, the school year is interrupted, let's suppose a teacher leaves and a new teacher arrives at the school, then that new teacher could just continue with the same lesson plan without missing a beat. Also, if you have a student that misses classes for some extended period, of course, they can stay up to date, and when they arrive in the class, they really haven't missed anything. It's a third reason would be from a technological perspective, this particular platform, in contrast to other platforms, does not require the installation of any special software. Everything happens right there in your web browser. So the student does not need to be especially technologically able.